Let's start by looking at the Oklahoma Sooners up in the land where the wind never stops blowing and people love their football team. We're talking about the Oklahoma Sooners playing in the Palace on the Prairie, and expectations are high in Soonerland. So let's get right into a preview of the Oklahoma Sooners. Brent Venables, who we've talked before, Darren, has been on the hot seat. It's not
Yep.
they've not been up to the standards of Oklahoma. A losing season is unheard of. Losing to a service academy in a bowl game is unheard of for the
Yep.
Oklahoma Sooners.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of hope on the horizon. The Sooners have retained a lot of their players from last year. They brought in a top 10 transfer uh, group, and they're doing pretty good on the recruiting trail. What is it?
Yeah.
Three straight top 10 recruiting teams and
Yes.
or classes. I'm sorry.
Classes. Right.
Yeah. And the big thing is everyone's talking about the quarterback because the statistics that he put up last
Yeah.
year, uh, absolutely incredible
A little
at,
impressive.
at Washington State. John Mateer, what do you think
Yeah.
about this kid when you see him, and how is he going to impact Oklahoma this year?
Well, I tell you the thing that if I'm an Oklahoma fan, it makes me immediately go, okay, there is something to this. I'm going to allow myself to get excited. Is the fact that not only is he coming over, but his offensive coordinator is coming with him. The person that knows how to build the system around him, the person that knows how to make sure he's in the right spot, where he can see receivers, how he reads a field. All of those things can talk to him about a defense, no matter who the defense is, and how to read that defense. That is an immediate big sigh, I guess a sigh of relief, because if I'm an Oklahoma fan, because you're thinking, okay, yeah, he had 3,100 yards. If he doesn't come in with the offensive coordinator and he just comes to the SEC, what does that really look like? And to me, that makes it look and feel a lot better and make me feel a lot more optimistic about we're going to see the best of him inside an offense that he's already comfortable with, hopefully adjusted to SEC scale, but nonetheless, inside an offense that he's already comfortable with. To me, that makes me feel some anticipation and some excitement if I'm an Oklahoma fan.
The offensive coordinator you're referring to is Ben Arbuckle, 29 years old, disciple of the air raid offense. So we're going to see a high octane, aggressive, fast moving offense for the Sooners. The question is, how's that going to work with the SEC defenses?
Very true.
But it made me think of something, Darren. I know we talk about, people can argue, is history linear or is history cyclical? You remember when Bob Stoops first came to Oklahoma?
Absolutely.
And the Big 12 was pretty much ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound.
Absolutely.
And they opened up the offense at Oklahoma, and it really put the rest of the league on its heels. And I wonder, are we going to see history repeat itself? Is this going to be an offense that SEC defenses are going to struggle to deal with? Or, I mean, what's your prediction here? You think this is going to take off?
I, my gut is to say I don't see how it doesn't. Because think about the disruption that Mike Leach's offense caused at Mississippi State. And Mississippi State fans, I apologize in advance. I do not mean this to be the slight it's going to sound like, but there's a difference in the level of player that Oklahoma is able to bring in, both recruiting and transfer, than what Mississippi State, the level of player that Mississippi State, especially at that time when Mike Leach first got there, was able to bring in. So now take that level of offense and add the kind of players that Oklahoma can bring into it. I don't see how it doesn't disrupt things. I think there will be a learning curve There are going to be some things that you see. Hopefully, he doesn't get hurt. But my guess is John Mateer is going to take some bumps in his first couple of SEC games because you kind of get settled in. You throw that air raid offense at non-conference opponents, and it looks very pretty. And then you get into facing SEC D lines. And what was a gap that could stay unprotected in the first 3 or 4 games, get your quarterback killed when you start facing a defensive line, an SEC defensive line. So I think there's going to be some of that, but once that learning curve is adjusted to, I really think it can disrupt things and be a major positive for this Oklahoma team this year.
And not only can Mateer throw the ball, he ran for 826 yards last year,
Absolutely.
15 touchdowns. Speaking of history repeating itself, I've already heard from Oklahoma fans, this guy reminds us of Baker Mayfield.
Exactly. Yeah. They are singing that song, and I don't blame them because the dude looks impressive, and you can't really complain about what Baker. Wow, Maker Bayfield. That's a new one. I don't think I've thrown that one
Mm.
out before. Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield brought to the field. You can't complain
I, I
about
think
that.
I think he just entered the transfer portal, Darren.
I think so. He's out. He's making his way out. There you go. How's that?
If Mateer is the kind of player that Mayfield was at Oklahoma, then he's going to get hit and he's going to pop right back up and ready to go again. So
Yeah.
I like what
Absolutely.
Venables has done here.
Mhm.
He realized changes needed to be made, and he was willing
Absolutely.
to make those changes. He went out, got an elite quarterback, got an offensive coordinator to run the air raid offense. This is going to be a fun Oklahoma offense to watch,
Absolutely.
which the offense at Oklahoma has been the huge disappointment so far in
Yeah.
Venables' tenure.
No.
He came in, he has helped to reshape the defense, which has gotten a lot better. And you look at their statistics. Uh, he's got a solid defense. So if the offense
Absolutely.
performs up to expectation, it's going to be fun. Think about Venables. His last two defenses, number 10, number 13, have been their finishes. Now he's got a new defensive coordinator,
Yep.
Wes Goodwin. Well, they coached together at Clemson, and I think Venables had some pretty good defenses at Clemson.
Absolutely. And to me, again, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, there's some comfort in a new defensive coordinator being named that's familiar with the system. You didn't just have one good year and then somebody completely new come in. Obviously he's going to work within and is familiar with and can construct what he's doing within the Brent Venables defense, within that scheme, within what it looks like. Verbiage will not change a whole lot. Obviously, there's always going to be some changes, but verbiage hopefully will not change a whole lot, and schemes and cues and all of that kind of stuff will not change. And so that gives me some, again, on the other side of the ball, some optimism if I'm an Oklahoma fan, because yes, you're going to see some differences, but you're not talking about we had a good year, lost our D coordinator, now we've got to make changes, brought in somebody completely new. It's going to be a what should be a smooth transition.
And hopefully it is for Sooner fans because they have an incredibly difficult schedule, one of the most
Yes,
difficult in the country. Look at some of
absolutely.
the 7 teams that they're going to face. Look at this the AP Top 25 poll on the screen. They
Mhm.
play Texas, they play Alabama, they play LSU, they play Michigan, they play Ole Miss, they play Tennessee. It's that's a hard road to sled,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so if 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 this pans out, this offense clicks, uh, it's going to be good. I don't know if that's enough to get them to Atlanta, Darren,
Right.
but I think it's going to be a lot better than 6 and 7.
So does improvement 8, 9 wins, let's say, not necessarily a playoff, not necessarily Atlanta, but you tick off another 2 or 3 wins compared to last year. Does that cool the seat for Venables with all the changes that have been made?
I think he has to get to 10 wins.
Okay,
I think
so
so.
he's got to have double digits to really bring the temperature down.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of goodwill right now, a lot of expectations with Mateer.
Mhm.
If he comes out to be one of those like a Baker Mayfield and he just wins the hearts of Sooner fans, that's gonna bode well for Venables. Maybe they don't get to 10 wins, but Mateer just lights it up. They're going to put more pieces around him. I think that would give Venables at least another year at the helm. But yeah, I think if you're looking at 8 wins, I think that seat gets scorching hot.
Well, and here's the thing: you said I'm looking at this schedule and strength of schedule. If they win all but two of these games, when you look at how many teams they're going to play just in the top 10 as far as where it stands preseason, I mean, that's a playoff run, right? 10 wins on that schedule in the SEC, that's a playoff run. And yeah, like you're saying, I think that definitely brings down the temperature. But also, even though it is a very tough schedule, yeah, I see what you're saying. If you kind of lose lose 3 or 4 games, hit that 8 win mark, not get to that 9 win mark, I can see what you're saying, that's going to be that'll make things difficult for Venables for sure.
Yeah, they got a huge home game with Michigan and
Yep.
September 6th. They need to take care of business and do that. Take care of Auburn, and then October 11th, the annual matchup with Texas is going to be off the charts.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, games at Tennessee, at South Carolina, at Alabama, none of those are going to be easy. And they finish up with Missouri and LSU at home, which is good for them. So a lot hanging in the balance with
Yeah.
these moves. I think Venables is doing he's doing the right thing to right the ship and get
Yeah.
it going. Whether or
Absolutely.
not that all comes together, we'll wait and see.
Yeah. It's a great point. It's a great
Right.
point. Hopefully it does. He's a great guy to love within the coaching ranks, and hopefully it does.
If you're an Oklahoma Sooners fan, you have every every
Absolutely.
you should be excited about this
Yes,
season, and I
definitely.
hope you are because this could take off and be big for the Sooners.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a great point.